My dad is a child groomer. My dad was convicted of grooming a minor on the internet 3 years ago. He told us he didn't know, was trapped, it was a police officer, etc. etc. Now he's been caught again inviting a 14-year-old girl over to his apartment for sex. He's 65. I found out he was in jail when his employer called me as his emergency contact looking for him. This man raised me, came to my sports games, was a loving grandfather to my daughter. He was a highly paid executive at a reputable global company. When you think of these people in society, it's hard to imagine them as fathers, charismatic businessmen, with wide circles of friends. Imagine being their child and finding out your whole life is a lie. I smell like poop all the time and it won't go away. 𝑻𝒊𝒏𝒆 it's mad embarrassing for me, and please don't say some sure like, just take a shower, cause trust me, if it were that easy this wouldn't be an issue. It's what it is, but even after a nice long shower or bath I still stink and it won't go away. It's definitely not a hygiene thing and I just don't know what to do anymore. Every day is a nightmare and I have no one supporting me at all, so every day I have to go to work smelling like sewage, because if I don't, how TF am I gonna pay my rent and bills? I can't even begin to explain how awful that is. I feel like I'm losing my mind and I just don't know what to do anymore. I genuinely think about suicide on a daily basis and how much longer I can continue like this. Does anyone know what might be causing this? I'm otherwise quite healthy, I eat well and exercise often, maybe a bit too skinny if anything. I'm a male 28. Edit. I just want to say thanks to everyone helping out and giving advice. I can't possibly respond to you all, but I appreciate every one of you. Yes, other PPL have noticed the smell. It's death, not an olfactory sensory disorder. I'm gonna try and see a doc ASAP, just don't know how soon that'll be. Was hoping for a quick fix, but realistically there probably isn't one. Haven't yet had sex with my wife of 2.5 years and I feel like I'm in a prison and am rotting from the inside. NSFW. We saved sex for marriage, didn't really grow up in purity culture, or at least feel any shame or pressure. The night of our wedding was met with tears and fear. I admittedly didn't react well. Trying to understand if I did something, or if there was something she wasn't telling me. The next 6 months was me highlighting the fact that we needed to figure this out, not only for me, but because we can't make it normal. She didn't understand why I wanted this so bad and was confident we'd figure this out. 2 years from that point, we're still here. 3 different counselors/therapists, 1 year of pelvic therapy, lots of honest talks with friends and still no penetration. At all. Vibrator is fine, but we've made no progress. She is unable to get her legs to relax, and if I try to force it, it feels like rape. I can't stay aroused because she's resisting me, despite her telling me every day that this is something she wants. I just don't understand what I'm supposed to do. She doesn't want me to watch porn, but I can't get by with handjobs that I only get if I ask for them. I can't leave because I vowed to work through our problems. I can't stay because I want to actually have a chance at a family. I want someone who is passionate about me and actually does something about it. Every marriage in my family has ended, every single one has ended in divorce, and I am better than that. But I just don't see how I'm supposed to live in limbo like this. I often fantasize about me or her dying because it's the only way I see out of this. Just some word vomit. Thanks. My girlfriend has a gift and I'm terrified. Okay, this sounds insane, but I don't know anymore. I, 27M, have known my girlfriend, 24, for around 7 years, and she has always been a bit odd. Not in a bad way, but she's very empathetic and too kind for her own good. She also has chronic depression/anxiety and BPD. A few months into us dating, she would do this thing where she would text me to hydrate/eat/stretch/relax my muscles, the works. I didn't think much of it honestly, like those are very common things people forget to do. Then she got more specific. Example being, hey, pop your left shoulder or it'll start to hurt later tonight, or she would buy me foods I was craving without me asking, or send me reassurance when I was feeling low. Even those, however, I was able to brush off with ease, like what nearly 30-year-old doesn't have aches and pains, you know. It was like that for months, and occasionally I'd ask her how she knew I hadn't hydrated all day or how she knew I wanted one of my cravings, to which she would always respond with, "It's a gift, cool huh?" I figured she was bluffing and kept getting lucky. Now I don't think that's the case. Last week she called off work and rushed over. I asked her why she felt the need to do that and she said she felt compelled. An hour later we got the news a family member I was close to passed. Here I have to note, she is close with my parents but they don't talk outside of family gatherings, so there's no way she would have known prior to the call. She stayed by my side the rest of the week and confided in me that she was a different religion than I am. She's a Hellenistic pagan, and I'm a Baptist, and that she got the urge to call off work when she was cleaning up her altar. I was a bit shaken up, but ultimately I was just glad she was there with me. This weekend we went to visit her dad. She suggested it because he lives outside of a tourist-trap town and we could use the vacation. I agreed and it was a fantastic trip. On the ride there, she confessed she doesn't like my job because it's dangerous. It wouldn't be, and I don't think it is at any of the other shops, but we simply don't have the equipment to do what we claim we can, so we have to jerry-rig quite a bit. I explained this to her and she just reiterated she wants me to be careful. I promised I would be and she dropped it. I had tried my best to not tell her about how sketchy it gets sometimes or that we actually had a workplace incident recently, but the way she talked, it felt like she knew. Throughout the drive from her dad's to the town, the drive was anxiety-inducing. We are talking heavy rain, plus bad drivers, and my car was acting up, yet my usually anxious girlfriend with car wreck trauma was unfazed. When I inquired about it at dinner she said she knew we wouldn't wreck. I asked how she could possibly know that, and she said, "I have a gift and I should just trust her on this." It was hard, but I did my best. When I was dropping her off, she warned me to be on the lookout for deer and to drive safe. Two somewhat normal statements given where we live, but I didn't think it meant, "Hey, there's gonna be a deer in the middle of the road so don't hit it." It was just the icing on the cake, and I still don't get this gift. The next morning, she's gushing about how much she liked our weekend and how much she loved spending time with me, how we need to do it again, blah blah blah. She then mentions how I need to be careful on the drive there. Lo and behold, there was a wreck on my commute. I got to witness it. At lunch she asks if I'm okay, which I kind of had just gotten a cut on my arm. I'm a mechanic so it's common. I asked her if she could stop being so weird and to just chill because life is being weird and I'm not feeling it. She said, "Okay, but how do you think I feel? I'm just stuck like this." I apologized and she agreed she would chill, and told me she didn't mean to scare me, but now I'm super weirded out by her. My boyfriend and our circle of friends pranked me on my birthday and I ghosted them because of it. Throwaway because my coworkers know about my main Reddit account and I don't want them to know about this issue of mine. I, 27M, met my, probably soon-to-be ex-boyfriend Alex, 29M, 2 years ago through a mutual friend of ours. I never expected he'd be interested in me because, when I first met him, he had only been with women. He came out as bisexual to me and our friends not too long after that, and that same night, he hinted that he was into me. We got to know each other more and it eventually turned into the two of us dating. He's genuinely a sweet and awesome guy, quite introverted but has a big heart and a real geek about the things he likes. I thought he'd be the one I would be marrying and all that, but I'm thinking that's not going to happen anymore. Last Monday was my birthday, and I went home early from work so that Alex and I can go out and enjoy ourselves. I told him earlier that day that I would go home early. When I opened the door, I was greeted by him laying on our couch, while a woman I didn't know was on top of him. They were fully clothed, by the way. I was basically paralyzed and couldn't react at all. He eventually saw me and had a surprised look on his face, but he also looked like he was trying to hold his laugh in. The woman also looked like she was about to laugh as well. I also started to hear chatter from the kitchen and in our bedroom. Alex then shouted, "You guys can come out," and so our friends came out of our bedroom and kitchen, holding gifts, party poppers, and a cake. I guessed them shouting, "It's a prank. Happy birthday," while turning the party poppers on snapped me back to reality because after they said that, I just quietly turned around and left. I didn't see their reactions when I did that, but I could hear them saying, "Oh shit," and "wait," and some other things I can't remember. When I heard them try to follow me, I hastened my pace until I reached my car and drove away. While driving, my phone started to get bombarded by texts, calls, and messages from my boyfriend and our friends. When it got too distracting, I just turned off my phone and went to a hotel that's far enough from my place. By the time I got to my hotel room, I just started sobbing on the floor. I think I blacked out from crying because when I woke up, it was already sunny outside. I made sure to tell my team leader first that I would be absent for a few days due to an emergency, and she was kind enough to accept my request. She probably noticed something was off with me because I was sniffling and my voice sounded weak. Right now, I plan on telling my aunt who lives near my area about what happened and asking if I could live with her for a couple of days until I sort out my mind and know what I have to do next. I'm deeply heartbroken because I've told my BF and my friends before how I felt about cheating and how it essentially ruined my family growing up and my young mind back then. My mom cheated on my dad and it broke our family, and I got cheated on by my first boyfriend, but at the same time, I can't help but feel like I overreacted and that I should have just went with it all. I still don't plan on opening my phone, so I'm using my laptop right now to type this. I don't know how to face and respond to them all after all that has happened. Maybe some time away from them will help, I hope.